Divine greetings, entities, energies, lovelies, bodies of light, seekers, and sojourners of truth. The 144, the chosen of the chosen of the chosen few. You know who you are. I am Akila Textry in the divine energy essence of it all. Reporting to you live from 5D. You guessed it, always in the 5D consciousness. And I greet you in the love that lights the truth from my heart to yours. As usual, I am here to bring you the news to infuse with, if you so choose. And I choose to infuse with that light. So, light grid activation. Let's go. We're going in on this next cosmic event. Yep, we have another, just like I spoke recently about the opportunities to shift timelines. Well, it is time to sink that clutch again and shift gears, because we're talking about the cosmic shift, the little cosmic meetup with Uranus and Jupiter. I had to check back in my brain, like, okay, I was going to say Taurus, but they're in Taurus. So Uranus and Jupiter, the Jupiter-Uranus conjunction. Some of you may have heard of it already, some of you, because it's been kind of in the loop, and I've been meaning to address it, but I had some other topics to get into, but here we go, and here we go. So we're going to go into this welcomed disturbance, because that's what it is. It's a welcome disturbance, because some may see it as it's going to shake up some things. I like Uranus, because Uranus is that Oya energy. Uranus is that lightning bolt. Let's go. And Uranus rules Aquarius, which that's where Pluto is right now. Remember, Pluto did the big shift that had everybody in a gear a couple months ago in the end of January, shifting over with the sun into Aquarius, right? All of this is helping to bring us into the Aquarian age, which we already are, but it's helping to usher us in, so to speak. And there's some things that we got to clear up and get rid of. So it's time for a revolutionary stance, and it's being expounded, it's being expanded by Jupiter, because whenever you see Jupiter, just think of expansion, right? It's a big planet. Just think it is the expansive planet. It is about expansion. It is about wisdom. I like to look at it as, the seeker of knowledge or truth, which is wisdom, as it rules Sagittarius. However, the focus that I want us to look at is what is being expanded. Like it is expanding our revolutionary aspect. It is expanding our Oya energy. Something that is like, we've seen it. It's like I'm tired of this. Some people may be feeling like throw it all away, throw the whole thing away, throw out the baby with the bathwater. Even though I do not promote that, I usually say, don't throw out the baby with the bathwater. Of course, you need to throw out some stuff, but keep the precious baby. Keep the, what do babies represent again? New beginnings. Keep the new beginnings, right? But for some, it may be, maybe I had some bad beginnings. Maybe I've been holding on to something that's not really serving my highest good. So, it may have that feeling, and it's saying that you're ready. It's what we're sinking the clutch with right now is saying we're ready to take the next step, to make the next move. It may have to do with relationships, because it's in Taurus and Venus rules Taurus, so it has to do with how we see things, the perspective of relationships, the perspective of finances, right? A lot of us still needing to let go of our perspective of finances. If you are moving into the 5D and you're still chasing money and finances, then you have not changed your perspective, right? Those who are really elevating and evolving are realizing that money is an illusion. So change your perspective on how you go after it. Yes, the practicality and the reality that we have been placed in has forced us to look at it for survival tactics, right? Which triggers our survival mode, which triggers it hits our root chakra. And we got to look at these things. We want to be in a state of mind of abundance, not lack. Right? So when we realize that the money is not really what they say it is, they put the value on the money, therefore, ergo, they put the value on you. So becoming a sovereign being, becoming more inclined to your higher self, your expanded 5D consciousness self, you are expanding beyond the 3D consciousness. It is the 3D consciousness that holds to these tangible things in this way, right? The 5D consciousness says, that has got to go. Those structures are falling down. London Bridge is falling down. That money is not what we thought it is. So it's really about changing the perspective here. And believe me, when you do, you will see how the divine surrounds you, and it will make a way for you, with you, through you. So are you ready to make that evolutionary step, that revolutionary re-evolution, right? The revolutionary step of throwing out some ideas, right? Not here to tell nobody how to live, but I must say, if you are in a 5D consciousness and you are an ascending soul and evolving and moving beyond the 3D paradigm, then we should then not really be in a place or put ourselves in a position to be seeking after fiat money or digital money, for that matter, anything that they have put a value to. So trying to, I don't know, what comes to my mind is like these get rich schemes, or you can get money this way, you can get money that way, that shouldn't be pulling you in. You shouldn't be looking. I don't like to tell people what they should and shouldn't do. I'm speaking to those chosen of the chosen few, right, who really is tapping into this other aspect of themselves. This is the very revolutionary movement that we're having. When you think of a revolution, think of something that is a drastic change, a sudden change, and it could feel disruptive. That's why I said it's a welcome disruption, right? And it's happening after the eclipse, so it's like as the dust settles, right? As I said, and I've told people in my workshop, after the eclipse, it's going to take a while for the dust to settle, like about a month or two, going into maybe May, like, the end of April, maybe into May, where you start to feel the dust settling. So consider this as an additive, an add-on. This is coming about a week and a half, about 2 weeks after the eclipse, the new moon eclipse that we just had. And so here comes this conjunction that's like helping you to settle the dust, even though it's kicking up dust. It's like it's kicking up dust to settle the dust, right? Whatever the new moon tossed in the air, whatever the eclipse tossed up in the air, right? The dust is settling, and this is how. Now we are seeing some things, not to forget that before the eclipse, we had that other cosmic shift of Pluto being shifted into Aquarius. So the revelations are really heavy. So it's to hold on to those revelations that you've been getting, not only since January, because January was only a repeat of what has been revealed to you from the previous year in March, right? And March was a very pivotal month last year of bringing forth some real revelations, right? And also bringing accountability with Saturn, changing its position as well. So there's these dynamics where we're seeing the cosmos. What are these celestial bodies are coming around and saying? So after the eclipse has brought in a get yourself together. After the revelation is being retold to you, right? Because you were told last year, but people wanted to turn a blind eye, right? But now it came to poke out that other eye. So now you gotta, open up the eye that you was trying to cover. So it's like, okay, fine. I'm looking. You don't have a choice but to look. That's what happened in this January. And then here comes the eclipse. Boom, boom, boom. Ready to highlight some stuff for you, get you activated in the North Node, South Node's axis of the Libra and Aries axis. So then, with that said, which is calling for what? Sovereignty of the soul. A lot of us are still working on that. It didn't just magically happen. The dust is settling. Some things need to be worked out, ironed out. Have you truly changed those perspectives? And so here comes the revolutionary Oya energy that's like, let's see who's really ready. And so Venus is being the planet that rules Taurus, right? And the planet of also relationships and the finer things in life. Basically showing that. But remember, Venus just got chin checked by Saturn before coming into Aries, right? So a lot of us had to do a reality check in the relationship dynamic, in our the way we value things, material things dynamic, and now it's teamed up. As this is happening this weekend, Venus is going to be at 19 degrees. It's almost like it's in the ecliptic shadow. So at 19 degrees, kind of reactivating the eclipse, where the eclipse was at 19 degrees. That's where the sun and the moon were, which says new beginnings. I don't know how many of you are hearing this, because I did a video, I don't know if it was yesterday or the day before, when the frog jumped on me, or out at me about new beginnings, right? Here is the echo again, new beginnings, but for new beginnings, there's a preparation. There's some things that have to happen and shift for the new birth, for what is to come, right? So it's at 19 degrees, the 9 and the 1 is 10. It's saying new beginnings again, right? And it's that perspective of the relationships and things that we value, being brought into the shadow of the eclipse, of what needs to be, what's being reactivated with that eclipse, at the same time of knowing that Venus rules Taurus, where this conjunction is happening. So you definitely may see some upsets or some shake up abouts in relationships, or maybe in a job, because the job kind of makes you question your value, and that's when you may value your identity in that job. You may value money from that job. So it's going to do something that makes you kind of, question that. But it's a welcome destruction, or I should say a welcome I call it welcome distraction, but a welcome disturbance. It's disturbing some things, but I really invite us to look at it in a mindset of, this is welcoming. I welcome this, because this disturbance is coming to show me something. So I want to say this to those of us who may feel some disturbance. Look at that as a hint from the universe. Hint, hint, this is what you need to till the soil with. Hint, hint, this is where you are looking at changing your perspective. This is where you need to take an active role, a practical application, because Taurus is about practicality. So are you going to be practical about this? Where's the practicality in what you say you're going to do, right? What you have learned coming out of this, and what you say you are going to do. So coming out of, where Venus was coming out of Pisces, Mars is, in Pisces too as well. That's going to be following the same trail behind Venus. Mars got the same checks and balance with Saturn. That's why Mars is in a in-between state right now, ready to hit into Aries. It didn't quite hit into his hometown yet, but it's being humbled, like not so impulsive, because it just got chin checked with Saturn. Slow your roll, right? Saturn holds us accountability. So our feminine Venus and our masculine Mars is being, put to a test, or being challenged, I want to say, not really put to a test, but being able to have a second look at what's really happening. Like, check yourself, checks and balance, there you go, before coming into the Aries fire of let's go, where our north node is, right? And the north node was recently at 19 degrees as well with Chiron. So Chiron, remember, is the wounded healer. So Chiron also is inviting us to look at where there were some wounds, right? Some things that we need to look at in order to move into the next step, or the next level. So all of this is helping us to till the soil. That was the theme that I got for this weekend. Literally, it's the theme that I put with my the workshop, the sacral workshop, because sacral is the emotional body. So this brings us, all to looking at our emotions, right? If you're looking at things that we need to unhealed wounds, the wounded healer that is here to remove those unhealed wounds, and bringing a little Venus love into the mix. With Venus being there, it brings in that Venus love, right? We got a lot of, excuse my background, got a lot of action in the background. So there's that Venus love that's bringing in, I want to say the ease and the calm, like bring some love into the equation. That love should help us to appreciate the welcomed disturbance, like that disturbance I'm getting right now. I don't know why they turned it on right now. But with that said, it's really inviting us to look at these new beginning aspects of what we're going into with this Taurus conjunction. So take this Taurus Uranus conjunction as another shift, another opportunity to shift in your timeline, as you are probably already doing and processing and assessing. And know that it's just helping to settle the dust of what we have just come through with these ecliptic energies. It's only here to help you, right? So the emotions is something I'm seeing that we really got to get into. So this, like I said, this sacral is very timely that I'm doing this, because it's at a time where we're going to be able to process some unprocessed emotions, which it is the emotional body, right? And once we process these emotions, it's going to help open us up a little bit more, especially in the throat chakra, especially in how we are expressing ourselves, expressing our creativity. Being that the sacral is the center of creativity, and a lot of us, our creativity is not flow, it's blocked. The flow is blocked. So we want to find what we need to find in our unprocessed emotions, things that have been holding us back, things that we haven't been looking at or looking into, our egoic attachments, because we are attached to certain things, and that is according to our feelings as well. So when we tap in, like, this is why I said it's ideal for tilling the soil. When I saw this weekend was the weekend of that, I was like, yep, the perfect weekend. I'm going to take that weekend, because I could have done it the other weekend, but something said no. This weekend is ideal. I want to work with these energies. I want to get in the soil, and I want to till that soil. And why I keep saying till the soil, because Taurus is an earth sign. So it's like, what's groundbreaking, what's we need to shake up, and which is what the sacral is about. When I usually do a sacral activity, it's about tilling the soil, because the soil is your subconscious mind. And so the soil it represents your subconscious mind, which is feminine, the feminine activity, and the feminine activity of feeling. So we need to break up those stuck feelings. Some people are stuck in their feelings, and that's going to be the tension that we feel. So the question is going to be, what are you willing to let go? Who are you willing to let go? Where, what job, what place, what person, place, or thing are you willing to let go of ideologically, in your ideas? Because as you hold it in your mind, that's how you hold it, in your life, world, and affairs, right? You don't literally have to let the person physically go. In some cases, you may have to. It depends on the toxicity of the relationship or the situation, right? But for the most part, I think a lot of people put too much fear on it. Like, you don't have to literally let everybody go, but you have to let go of your hold, your conceptual hold in your mind, how you have placed value on these relationships, on these person, places, or things. It is for us to go in and detach our heartstrings, the way we've held them. Not to say don't love them, because this is about love. The love frequency is about being in love without conditions. This is true unconditional love. Being in love without conditions. That means no conditions of your egoic attachments. Unconditional. So for us to be unconditional, we have to let go of the conditions. Although a lot of us think we don't have conditions, we do. Right? If you have any ego attachment or personal attachments, that means if you have any type of personal preference of a specific thing showing up a certain way or happening a certain way, or a relationship being a certain way, if you have a preference on it and you're holding to that preference, then you have an attachment, right? And so therefore it is hard to let go. So this earthquake, which, by the way, this Oya energy, this Uranus Jupiter conjunction is already being felt in the earth. That's why we're hearing about the earthquakes, the volcanoes. The earth is already being shook, shaken up, tilling the soil. So think about your consciousness as the earth, right? So there's some earthquakes. There is going to be some erupting volcanoes. There are going to be some floods. There's some floods that need to flush out, flood through your system. The waters representing your emotions that flow through you. Again, the emotional body. There are some things that we are going to be faced with looking at, right? And so with that said, I want to pinpoint before I go about the new beginnings, because this is exciting. Just as I spoke to you about the palindrome, new beginnings, this weekend where it is held, this conjunction will be exact on the 20th at about sometime in the night, 9 or 10 something p.m. And it will be on the 21st in another time zone, right? But why I say this, because the 20th is when the palindrome vortex starts, which the theme is about I want to say the theme is about the 12, the number 12, and the cyclical completion. However, and or as well with, it is new beginnings, because it's 10 days. So we see how what has happened, even with Venus being at 19 degrees, which is echoing the new beginnings, right? New beginnings in how we see what relationships and what we value, all of that I previously said. But look how it's catapulting us, or how it's, pivoting us towards that palindrome, right? There's no coincidence that this conjunction happens on the 20th, and the 20th is the first day of that vortex, the new beginnings vortex, which is, tends to be 10 days, right? And anything 10 is that new beginning. So I just wanted to kind of look at that. What has come full circle, or what is coming from the full circle from the ecliptic energies, that is, having the dust settle, and we're starting to see what this new beginnings is, how we can attain this new beginnings, and we're being positioned, right? As we're shifting gears, we're being positioned where the new beginnings are for us, what that shows up, what it looks like through this welcomed disturbance. We're going to see what is to be had, what needs to change, how are we going to see this newness. And so utilize that. It's almost like the 20th is the opening. There we go. That's how I see it, the opening of this vortex that's going to carry you through those 10 days. So look at what that may be for you, what arises for you. You don't even have to wait till that day, to be honest. You may already be feeling some of that energy. You may be feeling some of that tension. Like, I can say for me, one of the things was feeling a little hit at the worthiness. That was another thing that we need to pay attention to. It's going to hit at, again, if it's going to hit your value, like I said about the job, it could be about a project that you have coming up. It could be about something that, whatever it is that you're doing, something that's going to be in question may be how you see yourself, which may be an attack at your, a hit at your solar plexus, because that's your identity body. So how do I see myself? How, we may get like little mental psychic attacks of, you're not good enough, this is not worth it, may sense a little rejection, like what if I'm rejected, what if they don't like this, or these little, I call it psychic attacks, mental attacks. So kind of be on the lookout for that as we are going through this. And if you face that, ground yourself, right? This is happening in Taurus, right? The conjunction is in Taurus. So utilize that earth for what you can use it for. Ground yourself. Use your affirmations. Breathe in the truth principles that you know. Take a deep breath in. Remember, when you breathe in, it is the bridge between the physical and the spiritual. So breathe that in and let it bridge yourself to the physical aspects, to the spiritual aspects, from the physical into the spiritual aspects. And as you exhale, release what you know does not serve you. If it's not in the mindset of abundance, release it. Because if it brings those psychic attacks, then that is not abundance. That is putting you in the mind state of lack, because for some reason you're seeing lack, right? Which only enhances fear. It is the breeding grounds for fear, right? And we don't want fear to be here or near or dear. Neither here nor there. No fear, right? So let's not allow any of these beautiful welcome disturbances. Think of the beauty of Venus that is helping, that is Venus that is reactivating the eclipse with beauty. That's how I want to look at it. Like, it's accentuating the eclipse with its beauty, bringing its beauty into the picture. So beauty is in the eyes of the beholder. So what will you behold? Be evolved in what you're holding to. So what would you behold in this beautiful welcomed disturbance that is allowing us to see the dust that is settling, and allowing us to till the soil of our soul. Till the soil, till the soul. And allow the true emotions to pave the ways of peace by bringing us the true revelations that we need to see, by allowing ourselves to feel. Because who feels it knows it. So this can also activate that third eye if you choose to move in a state of wisdom. I just like how this rose is like looking like a rose in my hair. I feel like singing a little song. Maria, Maria, put a flower in her hair. You know, songs just be coming to me. So I'm glad to be able to share that with you. Look into where Uranus is in your chart. If anything, look at where your Uranus, your natal Uranus, because hint, hint, and I got this hint, so I'm going to pass it to you. This is what may be shaking up in your life, in this area. So wherever your natal chart, in your natal chart where Uranus is, in what sign or what house or whatever that Uranus is in, then that's what's going to be shaken up. So take a closer look at your natal chart. Remember, the cosmos is a roadmap, and allow that to be your guidance into this beautiful, beautiful disturbance. It's beautiful. With that said, I want to invite you all, please do not forget to like, subscribe, share, comment. I do appreciate the comments. Thank you for commenting. All of you that do. And do not forget to sign up for the workshop. It's this weekend, y'all. You don't want to miss out. For those of you who are on the brink, who wants to know what is it that I need to change, what is the emotions that I need to allow myself to see or process, so I can see, you know, I can have a heads up or see what's being shaken up in my life, world, and affairs. Where's that Oya energy coming from? Because it's coming from within and within you. Do you really know what you're fed up of? And it's not just what's showing up on the surface. You got some things that's going to be erupting like a volcano that's been underneath in the lava grounds of your soul. So this is really going to help you get into taking a deeper look into that sacral, that energy center, which is only a doorway into your soul. So don't be shy. Don't even if you don't get this the day of, we're doing it 3 days, the 19th, the 20th, and the 21st. And even if you don't get this to the 20th, it's never too late to sign up. So feel free to sign up wherever you can. By Eventbrite, I'm putting the link below. I've been keeping up with that. Getting with the technology. I'm keeping up with it. So look at the link below, and we'll have that there for you. Sign up with Eventbrite. Whether it's today, you can sign up for 1 day or all 3 days. My best advice is all 3 days, because I give you parts. Each day we do a part. It's a 3-step process that has 3 steps within each process. So I would advise to do it, but if you only get 1 day, that's fine. It is recorded, so I may be able to send you the recording if you want to follow up and do your homework. So with that said, enjoy this beautiful time. Let the beauty, let the roses be able to guide you to the beauty within this welcome disturbance, as I said earlier. So each one reach one, teach one. If you don't know where to start in your big, beautiful heart. Shine your light from the inside out, and be the candle that lights the next one, and the next one, and the next one. Peace, love, and light.